Well, welcome everybody to the first ever EduNations live stream fundraiser. We're glad to have you guys with us tonight. If somebody shared this on Facebook and you decided to click it because you thought that it would be cool to be entertained for the next 45 minutes and learn about EduNations, great. We are glad you are here. We are glad you're with us. So for the next little bit, I'm going to go over a few things about what you're going to be learning about tonight. First off, my name is Sean Zippai. I am a board member of EduNations, and let's just address the elephant in the room. When I went to Sierra Leone, many people gave me that look. I am not Jesus. I am a follower of Jesus, and I want to be like him in every step that I take, but I am not Jesus. I am Sean Zippai. I am a lowly sinner. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get on with the program. This launches a week-long campaign that we have called Connect for the Kids. So tonight, you are going to be able to give, and throughout the week, you're going to have opportunities to give as well. So if you're on Facebook, we would love for you to share this. If you're on YouTube, we would love for you to comment. And if you could comment where you are watching from, that would be absolutely great. So if you are in Buffalo right now, we would love for you to go to your computer and comment Buffalo. If you are in Sierra Leone, we would love for you to comment Sierra Leone. So we would love for you to do that. And through this fundraiser, we are trying to raise $16,000, which stands for the 16 years that EduNations has been an organization. So if you do some quick math, for those of you playing at home, EduNations was started in 2004. Now, we do have one cool giveaway. We'll be doing a few giveaways throughout the week, but tonight we have a very cool giveaway where you could possibly win a dinner with our very own president, Samuel Cisse, when he comes back to the United States. So if you comment on Facebook, dinner with Samuel, you will be in the running to have dinner with Samuel when he comes back, and we will actually choose that winner at the end of tonight. I will pick somebody out of a nice basket, and we will have the winner. So if you comment that and you share our page as well so that your friends on Facebook can see that we are live streaming, you will get an additional bonus. So let's talk about how you can give. Tonight, if you text C4TK 2020 to the number 44321, we will be able to pull up the thermometer and we will be able to see our giving throughout today. So right now, it looks like there is $36 that have been given to EduNations so far. And throughout the night, that will be updated at live. So once again, it is C4TK, which stands for the campaign Connect for the Kids. So C4TK 2020 to 44321. So without further ado, we're going to get on with the program. I'm going to introduce Scott Graham, who is a board member of EduNations and has been to EduNations a few times. So Scott is going to talk about the history of EduNations. Take it away, Scott.
Thanks, Sean. I have to say, you may not be Jesus, but I think you are rocking Jesus's wardrobe. So there you go. In 2004, 5 sets of parents went to the war-torn and impoverished country of Sierra Leone, recently emerging from the Blood Diamond War. These parents had the opportunity to adopt some children who were in need of parents. But there were hundreds, really thousands of others that they saw that were without the possibility of having the kind of opportunity, especially education, that these parents knew would be available to the kids that they were bringing back to the United States. And God laid on the heart of these folks to do something. And out of that call, out of that vision, EduNations was born. Now, 16 years later, there are 6 rural, under-resourced villages that EduNations is hard at work in, providing education through nursery schools, primary schools, junior secondary schools, and in the fall of 2020, our first senior secondary school in the village of Rokasa that will be a feeder school from all the other qualifying students from junior secondary schools in the villages that we are a part of. 15 schools, over 100 teachers, and 3,000 students. It's amazing. EduNations is now a recognized and respected NGO in Sierra Leone and is a approved 501c3 nonprofit organization here in the United States. One of the greatest things about Sierra Leone is we have a Sierra Leonean president, there is a staff, all of the teachers in EduNations are Sierra Leonean. So now at this point in time, when many other NGOs are having to pull up stakes in West Africa because they don't have native-born staff, EduNations is still hard at work. And you're going to learn a little bit more about the creative ways that teaching is continuing, even though the school buildings have been shut down due to the corona virus situation. 10 years ago, when I came into these villages, we were met with shy smiles, and now there is joy when we come up into these villages. Samuel and myself, my last visit, one of our sponsored kids gave me a chicken as a parting present. We are thrilled at what God is doing, but the challenges are huge. So we are hoping that as you catch a vision for what you can do to make a difference for the least of these, the children of Sierra Leone, we'd love to have you be a part of it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, Scott, for sharing. It is now my pleasure to introduce the video of our next guest. And he is the president of EduNations. He was born in Sierra Leone, and he lives in Sierra Leone. He's a great friend. I consider him a brother. Many of you know him. He's got a great laugh. He's got an incredible smile and personality. So many of us know him as SS, but his name is Samuel Cisse. So let's take a look at Samuel's video.
Greetings. My name is Samuel Cisse, and I am so blessed to serve as the president of EduNations. As you all participate in tonight's virtual fundraising event for EduNations, I'd like to thank you so much for stopping by and being a part of what God is doing in Sierra Leone. I have to say that this is a very exciting time for EduNations. In the last 8 years, I have worked with the board of directors and the staff members, as well as the community leaders in the various districts that we serve in northern Sierra Leone to build nursery schools, primary schools, and junior secondary schools. But we've always been confronted by this great dilemma. When we get to see our students finish junior secondary school, or as you would say, middle school, and they are not able to continue their education. I am so thankful that the board of directors of EduNations blessed the decision to build one senior secondary school in the village of Rokasa, a place where we will have dormitory facilities and quarters for the teachers. The students who finish their junior secondary school or middle school in the various villages where we serve will be able to come to Rokasa and finish their high school education. This, my friend, is a very exciting time for us. The senior secondary school is almost being completed. The dormitories are being constructed. At EduNations, we value the partnership that we have with each one of you, with every church and every organization who has supported us. And it should interest you to know that as well as bringing education in these communities, we have also considered sustainable development projects. A few years ago, we constructed the Ofonte Community Health Center here in Rokassa. We are seeing an average of 350 patients who come to this clinic, and all EduNation students get to receive free medical services. We have been able to perform 78 hernia surgeries. We have been able to deliver 38 babies who would have otherwise been born in their homes and perhaps may not have been able to make it. Apart from the clinic, another sustainable project that we have embarked on is the agricultural project, where we are growing pineapples and growing cashew nuts, mangoes, granules, sometimes called peanuts. And we also have a constant production of palm oil. The average Sierra Leonean eats palm oil at least once a day. And with the many students that we are planning to bring together in this senior secondary school, we should be able to have homegrown products that our students can partake of. I should also mention the exciting project of the bakery that we now have in Rokassa. We started a bakery project in the village of Fintonia that turned out to be really beneficial, that the people in Fintonia have good bread to live on. But not only the people who are able to pay for it, but even sometimes our students in the kindergarten schools are able to receive a free loaf of bread from time to time. In this bakery in Rokassa, our goal is not to make profit, but to produce the bread that the children would feed on in their breakfast time here in the senior secondary school. We have also started the construction of our poultry in the village of Mabom Station. This poultry would start as soon as we are able to complete it, and we are able to bring over the chicks, 1,000 chicks that will be able to lay eggs that we will transport to Rokassa for both students and staff to live on. A couple of years ago, we started a microfinance project that has now given out 937 loans to different people. 712 of those people are women who are business people, as well as workers, could be teachers, or it could be carpenters or business people who have come to ask for sometimes a loan of about $50. And through these loans, we have been able to generate a profit. Out of the profit we made in the first year of the microfinance, we were able to raise about 40 million leones, which is just over $4,000 that we used to purchase school supplies in the last school year. You see, these sustainable projects are what I see as the least we can do as Sierra Leoneans to complement the great effort that our donors are making in supporting this great organization. And speaking about that, I'd like to tell you about the impact that EduNation is making. Some of you who read our newspapers must have read the story of the head boy of the village of Rokassa in the junior school there, Momo. Momo lost both parents during the Ebola crisis, and we found him a vagabond, hopeless, and encouraged him to come to school. There was not a day in the first month of Momo's schooling with us in Rokassa that he would not sneak and hide in one of the other classrooms or at the back of the building, crying and mourning for his parents. Momo's story was a sad and tragic one. But today, Momo is continuing his education here in Rokassa, and he says in his own words, he hopes to be a medical doctor. This is why I'm so excited to serve in EduNations when I see the transformation that we are able to bring to these communities, when I see the lives of people being changed, families taking a new trajectory towards economic empowerment and socio-economic change. I am so excited about this. Myself, coming from a Muslim family and born in a rural community and raised by a single mother who never went to school but wanted me to have an education. And I have come to see how not just being the first person ever to get a first degree or a master's degree or pursuing my PhD now, but also able to come to these communities where I find students with a similar story to mine and being able to impact their lives. Obviously, all of what we do here in Sierra Leone cannot be possible without your support, your encouragement, your prayers, and for those of you who have ventured to do this, making the trips over to Sierra Leone to tap us on the back and say we are with you together. So, on behalf of the children of Sierra Leone, the staff here, about 108 in all, and the people of Sierra Leone, I would like to thank you so much for your support to this organization. And as you share with us in this event today, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord give you a fulfillment in the knowledge that what you are doing is helping to transform the lives and communities of our people here in Sierra Leone. Thank you, and God bless you.
Now you can see why we are so thankful that SS Samuel Cisse is our president for EduNations. We love that guy. Samuel, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for that video. Let's check on the progress that we have so far. So, folks, if you can text C4TK 2020 to the number 44321, we will show you the progress so far of the fundraiser, or you can go to edunations.org/connect for the kids to donate as well. And that'll be open for the full week. Remember, if you would like a chance to win dinner with Samuel Cisse, the gentleman you just saw, if you would like a chance to win dinner with him when he comes back to the United States, you must comment, whatever platform you're using, you must comment dinner with Samuel. And if you also share the live stream, they're going to give you an extra entry. So I suggest that everybody comments dinner with Samuel. Who wouldn't want to have dinner with the gentleman we just saw? He's the man. So comment dinner with Samuel, and you can have a chance to win a dinner with Samuel. And we will find that out at the end of this fundraiser. So we're going to move into the next portion of the fundraiser. Let me introduce Alamami, who is a board member of EduNations, and he is adopted from Sierra Leone. Let's watch a video from Alamami.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, I want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy week and joining us here at EduNations. Thank you for sharing your 45 minutes to an hour. We really appreciate this. My name is Almami Bader, and I am one of the current sitting board members here at EduNations. I was born and raised in Sierra Leone, but then later adopted into the States with my younger sister, IC2 Bader. I hope that you're finding tonight's program both encouraging and empowering as we seek out God's calling in reaching out to those of us that are least fortunate. As you've seen throughout the evening, our mission here at EduNations is to empower and to transform lives, starting from one small village, a town, and hopefully, God willing, a whole nation. And we seek to do this by providing free education to all of our students here at EduNations. But all of this work and effort, though, couldn't be made possible without individuals such as yourself, and that is you, our sponsors and our donors. I know that many of you have been longtime partners with EduNations ever since the beginning. But I also know that some of you, after seeing the work that EduNations has been doing over the years, have now also jumped on board and helping further our initiative. And so I'm going to take this portion, this part of the program here tonight, right now, to personally thank you with wholeheartedly on behalf of the many, many children that you've supported over the years through the work of EduNations. Your financial support and your involvement has not gone unnoticed, but rather it's a living testament of all of the work that EduNations has done and still yet continues to do. Your gift of education, it is something that is so important in the lives of our students here at EduNations, and in doing so, you've provided a better opportunity for positive impacts in the lives of current generation and beyond. As I stated earlier, I am one of the many adopted children from Sierra Leone. My parents, much like many of you, are sponsors, our donors, and those of you watching the program right now, right here, wanted to help the children of Sierra Leone. And this help came in the form of the adoption of my sister and I by the following of God's calling. They didn't just want to provide to us the gift of education, but also their time, their effort, and their love. And without their gift of education, I personally don't think I would be where I am today without that. And in providing me with schooling, teaching me in homeschool, learning the fundamentals of math, science, history, and English, I was better able to prepare myself for higher education. I've graduated homeschool into high school and then later into college, and I am now living my dream of engineering. I've graduated college with a degree with electrical engineering at the School of Applied Sciences at the State University of New York at Buffalo. I am currently working in an engineering firm with a group of electrical engineers in the electrical engineering department. Now, I share this story simply because my parents, much like many of you guys here tonight, our donors and our sponsors, wanted to help the children of Sierra Leone. And they took a calling from God and they acted upon it. As a result, this has transformed my life forever moving forward. Now, I understand that many of you may not be able to bring in a child into your home per se, but you're already doing this for so many of our students here at EduNations. You are providing essential resources and education to all of our students at EduNations, and you're not doing this for 5, 10, 20, or 30 students, but rather thousands and thousands of students. And in doing so, you've been such a great impactor in the effort and work that we're doing. And as a result, thank you so much for that. Thank you for your continued partnership with us. Without you, the work of EduNations could not continue on. And for this, I thank you. EduNation thanks you, and every student in each school, all of them say thank you. Now, our work here at EduNation still continues on today in reaching out to those of us that are least fortunate. And so we have a small video that we put together to show you how your continued partnership with EduNations will be of an impact. So please, turn your attention to this short video. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Alamami for sharing, and thank you to the development coordinator, Sarah Patriga, for making that beautiful video. You start to tear up every time you see that. It's beautiful. So now we're going to talk a little bit about child sponsorship, and I have Christina Graham with us, who is the wife of Scott Graham, who you saw earlier. Some may say this is his better half, which I would agree. But welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about child sponsorship. And child sponsorship runs in your family, and your father left an amazing legacy for you guys to try to uphold. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. My dad was a retired music teacher, and he was involved in child sponsorships through the International Ministry of the Free Methodist Church. In 2005, when he passed away, we found out that he was sponsoring 112 kids in Haiti and Kenya. So
that is unbelievable. So, folks, you can support a child. 112 might be a lot, but that is amazing.
Yes.
So how many students do you and Scott sponsor in Sierra Leone currently?
At the moment, Scott and I just have 4 kids.
Just 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
We started in 2013 with El Haji in the village of Fintonia. And then we've added kids gradually. So now we have 2 boys and 2 girls. We have Al Haji and Lamin and Kariatu and Fatu.
Now, Scott, your husband, was recently over in Sierra Leone. Did he get to meet some of them on his travels?
His last trip, he had a lot of meetings to attend and people to see. He was a little worried that he wouldn't have time to find them. They all found him. He was really amazed that they made sure that they sought him out. He got to meet some of their family members. He was just thrilled to be able to see them and to meet them. They recognized him from pictures that we had sent, and they had a really good time getting together.
That's a beautiful thing. And many of the child sponsorships that you guys have are through the village of Fintonia, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what is your connection with Fintonia?
So when you sponsor kids in a village, then that village becomes, it's on your heart. We pray for that village. We pray for all of those children and their families, of course. It gives such a personal connection to the work that Samuel does, the pastor in Fintonia, and the teachers. It's just really important for us to think about them and keep them in our hearts and prayers. So it's exciting to think that through sponsoring, their lives are going to be changed the same way that my dad's kids, their lives were changed. So it's a neat connection.
Absolutely. And what a blessing it is to be able to have children over in Sierra Leone as well.
Right.
All right, folks. Well, Christina, thank you so much for sharing. And if you would like to sponsor a child, we'll give you that opportunity. If you go to edunations.org/connect for the kids, you can sponsor a child and you can pick a child as well. So if you go to edunations.org/connect for the kids, you can choose a child there to sponsor. We're going to do a quick fundraising update as well. Let's put up the live display. Remember, you can text C4TK 2020 to the number 44321. It looks like we have $1,295 so far. So we are getting there, folks. We are getting there. And don't forget, it's just not tonight. This is going to be going through the whole week. So thank you so much, Christina. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean.
Let's go over to a board member of EduNations and somebody that has been over to Sierra Leone, I believe 16 or 17 times. So over to you, Betsy Roomer.
Well, hello, everyone, and good evening. We're so glad that you have joined us for this tonight. This is really a whole lot of fun, and it's great to be spending this time with you. As a board member, I was asked to answer the question, well, why give? Why give to EduNations? And I'm going to answer that question by telling you a short story. First of all, I want to tell you that there is poverty, and then there is poverty. And let me explain. My first trip over to Sierra Leone was back in, I believe it was about 2009. And we went into the village of Mayata, and at that point in the village of Mayata, they had never seen a white person. And so when we entered into the village, I have to tell you, hundreds of kids came running up to us and surrounded us. At first, they would come up and they would touch you to see whether or not your skin color came off, because it was just something they had never seen before. Turned into a little bit of a game, and it was fun. They would run after me, I'd run after them and see whether their skin color came off. And after a little time of doing that, I took out my digital camera. Yes, I did say digital camera, not my iPhone, because back in those days, you used your digital camera. And so I took a picture of a little boy. And when I was finished taking the picture, I took the camera and I turned it around so that he could see the picture of himself. And when he looked at the picture, there was absolutely no response to him. There was no recognition, there was nothing. Now, the kids who were standing around him knew immediately that it was a picture of him, and they started laughing and pointing to him. And in that moment, without ever learning the language of Temne, which is what they spoke, I realized that those kids did not know what they looked like. And the reason they didn't know what they looked like was because they had nothing that would show them what they looked like. They had nothing except for the clothes on their back. Some of them had shoes, some of them didn't. They didn't have a mirror. They didn't even have clean water that they could see what they looked like in the reflection. And I was stunned by that. And of course, at that point, what do you do except for you take pictures of 200 kids and turn your camera around and show that to them, so that they could all experience for the very first time to see what they looked like. I never wished more in my life that I had had one of those digital printers that I could have taken a picture and handed each one of those kids a picture so that they'd see what they look like. So when I say there's poverty and then there's poverty all over the world. There's poverty here in the United States. But the poverty that doesn't even know what you look like because you own nothing, that changed me. And from that point forward, I felt like God had called me to enter into some sort of generosity. And that was, part of it was giving service, part of it was loving and kindness, and part of it was giving of my resources. And my husband and I have been committed to doing that for the last, 12 years or so. So why should you give? Because they have nothing, and they need us. Thank you for coming tonight. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Betsy. The person you're going to hear from next is somebody that many of you will recognize and many of you know. I had a great opportunity with the rest of my family to go in the summer of 2019 to Sierra Leone with this guy. He's a great man. He's the founder of EduNations. I consider him a friend. And if I take off my sandals, well, technically I can see my toes. If I count my toes and my fingers, I still cannot count as high to the times that this gentleman has been to Sierra Leone, so I won't even throw out a number. So without further ado, we will hear from Dr. Dean Weaver.
Well, thank you, Sean, or as we like to call him in Sierra Leone, Salone Jesus. We're grateful for your leadership tonight in helping us to get this first ever virtual event off the ground. And a special thanks to our development coordinator, Sarah Petrega, who's done such a great job with this. And a special welcome to all of our friends in Sierra Leone. You know, it's after midnight in Sierra Leone, and we're watching that many are joining us online even for this event. So to be able to find an internet signal and get to a place where you can watch this and join us, what an incredible privilege and honor and delight that is. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As has been said, our goal for this week, and it's not just tonight, tonight launches an entire week of activities. Our goal for this week is to raise $16,000. That's $1,000 for every year that EduNations has been in existence. Back in the day when my friends Ken Krieger and Ken Hausnick and Mike Bader and Rick Kennedy, when we all came together to help found EduNations, little could we ever imagine the impact it would have on Sierra Leone and so many families today. And you've heard about a lot of that already, so I won't go back and repeat it. But what I'd like to tell you is what that $16,000 will do for the children and the ministry of EduNations in Sierra Leone. First of all, Sierra Leone is being affected by the COVID crisis in the same way we are in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and throughout the world, which means the government has placed the entire country on a lockdown and schools are unable to meet. But that doesn't mean that education has stopped. No, no, no. Thanks to the incredible dedication of our teachers, we have managed to not only secure the safety passes to move our teachers into all of the districts where our schools are, but our brave and safe teachers are actually homeschooling all of our kids to help them get ready for their national exams. I bet you wouldn't mind an EduNation's teacher coming to your house to homeschool your kids during this corona crisis, right? Well, they're doing that. They're going to these remote villages and helping our students in the most under-resourced communities, not only in Sierra Leone, but around the world, helping them to prepare for their national exams. And there's good reason. We have some of the highest exam rates in the entire country, and we're in the most remote and rural regions. And we have a very high percentage, higher than the national average, of young women in our schools. So we have a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for, and that education continues even during this COVID crisis, thanks to the dedication of our hardworking, amazing teachers. But there's something else going on even while we speak. The money that you raise during the course of this week will also go to help us to feed the students in our schools and their families and the entire villages where our schools exist. Typically at this time of year, we try to raise some funds to help feed the families in our schools, but because of the lockdown, many of the people in our villages who are subsistence farmers are finding it incredibly difficult, overwhelming, even impossible to get any kind of food to take care of their families. And so the money that you help us raise this week will help us to bring in rice and chicken and all kinds of spices and fish and foods to help feed not only the children of our schools, but their families and the entire villages where we serve. What could be a greater gift at a time such as this than that? You and I, we can call on somebody to DoorDash or to Meal Grab or to go to, you can go to Sam's Club and go shopping even with our masks on. They don't have that option. So we have the opportunity to make a real impact with that $16,000. Oh, and I have some more good news for you. We have secured a very generous $5,000 matching gift, which means the first $5,000 we raise will be matched and will be $10,000 on our way to getting there. Sean's going to give us an update in just a moment to see how close we're getting. But if you could, go ahead and get on a line and go to EduNation's /Connect for the Kids, or you could text C4TK 2020 to 44321. Those numbers are on your screen. If you would go ahead and make your donation now, you'll help us to reach that first 5,000, maybe even tonight. Get real close even tonight. That will put us up to 10,000. And then it doesn't stop tonight. We've got an entire week of great activities online planned for you. We're going to have t-shirt giveaways. We're going to have gift card giveaways. We've actually got a gift card tree that we're going to be giving away later in the week. And of course, you remember, you can have dinner with Samuel Cisse at the place of your choosing. I expect it'll be maybe someplace really, really nice. But we're going to have lots of fun stuff this week, giving away things, raising money in creative ways. So we hope that you'll check back in our social media platforms throughout the course of the week on Facebook and Instagram and on our webpage, because what we start today, we hope in a very modest way, we're able to carry through the entire week and reach that goal of $16,000 for 16 years to help support the children and the education work of EduNations in Sierra Leone. You could get on to that edunations.org site /Connect for the Kids, and you could do a child sponsorship. You could make a donation. You could share it on Facebook. You could watch it later this week and have a watch party. There's all kinds of ways in which you can get involved and make a difference for the life of these kids. All kind of challenges, all kind of giveaways, all lead up to a big impact in a place where a little bit goes a very, very long way. So I'd like you to think a little bit about how God has blessed you, the difference that you can make, and what little you might give that even now could be doubled, be matched for the kids of Sierra Leone. And as you're doing that, I want you to listen to this song. It's the theme song of EduNations, written by our president, Samuel Cisse, and sung by some of the junior and senior secondary students in the village of Rokasa. This embodies the spirit of EduNations. And I hope that song gets in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, and it moves you to be as generous as you are able to be. But let's listen to this song, and may it inspire hope through education.
By the grace of God, we can see it come. The hope our land has not have. We will strive to land, we will stay focused. Our books, our pens, our friends. We will trust in God, we will trust in ourselves to bring the hope to our land. Hooray, hooray, we give attention now. Hooray. We celebrate our hope as we believe. Viva Africa, viva Sierra Leone, our hope has come from the Lord.
I have a little pep in my step after that song. Folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you to our founder, Dean Weaver, for sharing with us. And thank you to Dean and his friends for starting EduNations, this organization that is unbelievable and helps the people of Sierra Leone so much. So thank you guys so much for doing that. If we can put a quick fundraising update on the screen, that would be great. Remember, folks, C4TK 2020 to the numbers 44321. And it looks like we are at $1,727. And as Dean said, it's just not tonight. It is going to be going on throughout the whole entire week. And there is no doubt in my mind with our reach that we will get to our goal of $16,000. So you may have noticed that I have a wardrobe change, and I am holding a cute little basket. At this time, we are going to announce the winner of the Dinner with Samuel contest. So without further ado, I'm going to pick a name here. And that winner is Fred Rainey. So thank you very much, Fred, for participating in the contest, for sharing this or commenting Dinner with Samuel. We will get in touch with you. We'll have no problem doing that. Thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing about your venture with Samuel when he comes. Take him to it. We'll take you to a really nice place. Trust me. So, folks, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, there's going to be a contest where we will be releasing some different things on Facebook, a few contests there, maybe some contests on Instagram or via email. And I'm wearing this beautiful shirt that says, "This shirt sends a child to school." And EduNations will be giving a few of these T-shirts away throughout those contests. So you want to make sure that you tune in. I believe we'll even be doing a Creo challenge. So if you want to try your Creo and you don't really care about making a fool of yourself, because it will be fun and funny at the same time, you can participate in the Creo challenge. I have many people that I will be tagging on Facebook or Instagram to do the Creo challenge. I'm extremely excited about that. So once again, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the EduNations first virtual fundraiser. We hope you had fun. We did. We hope you learned a lot about EduNations. A big thanks to the development coordinator, Sarah Patriga, and Beth Weaver, the child sponsorship coordinator, for all their hard work that they did in making this happen. So we thank you once again. We hope you will give generously, and we want to wish you a very, very great summer. Good night, everyone.